Did you know out of the world's 9 billion tons of plastic, only 9% of it is recycled? And one of the leading countries in that problem is the US. So this is why I believe that the US should make a ban on all single-use plastics used within the US. So why is this a significant topic? According to Nature's Path, written by Mary Wales and published on July 18th, 2018, it says, quote, "The toxic chemicals used to manufacture plastic is transferred to animal tissue, eventually entering the human food chain. Styrofoam products are toxic if ingested and can damage nervous systems, lungs, and reproductive organs." So why would I be credible on this topic? I use things such as reusable water bottles to reduce my use of plastics, and then try to find ways of using anything reusable that would cause me from not having to use any single-use plastics. So first, I'm going to be explaining what are the different ways that plastic affects the environment and animal and human health, and then why the solution is banning all single-use plastics. So one, a lot of single-use plastics has really negative effects on marine life in the oceans. According to Clean Water Action, published on an unknown date and written by an unknown author, states, quote, "In the ocean, plastic debris injures and kills fish, seabirds, and marine mammals. Marine plastic pollution has impacted at least 267 species worldwide, including 86% of all sea turtle species, 44% of all seabird species, and 43% of all marine mammal species." So plastic has a large impact on all those species, and with the rate of that we're using single-use plastics in the US, the rate of them being affected could go up exponentially if we don't find a way to go around with it. And one of the craziest facts with our use in plastic is that the plastic has been found in the deepest part of the ocean and the deepest part of the world, which is the Mariana Trench, which is at the same depth as the height of Mount Everest is, which is pretty insane. So this here is also causing, different destruction if we don't fix this at this rate. And for an example, in the movie Happy Feet, they were able to portray a part where one of the penguins has a soda plastic ring around his neck. And through the movie, they were able to, portray how bad plastic is to certain animals. Even if it, was just a movie, it tugged at people's emotions to show them what the problem is. Another problem with single-use plastics is the impact on human life. According to Teach the Earth, written by Gianna Andrews and published on unknown date, says, quote, "As these chemicals are ingested by animals in the ocean, this is not good for humans. We as humans ingest contaminated fish and mammals." So when fish, because of fish being in the ocean, and we use our plastic as a runoff and it goes into the ocean, fish are ingesting the toxins, and when we get our catch, fishermen get our catch, and then they sell it to restaurants, we don't really know what the condition of the fish is, and we have no idea how many toxins we're injecting. And it's not just marine ecosystems that are being affected, it's life on land as well. A lot of land ecosystems are being affected. According to Britannica, written by Gregory McNamee and published on December 8th, 2008, says, quote, "If a mingo strangles itself on a bag, unable to twist its way out of the entangling plastic, a platypus suffers deep cuts from a plastic bag entwined around its body." So even though we have ways of, putting plastic in landfills and other sources, plastic still gets around. People throw it away or throw it out the window, throw it everywhere, and it blows away and collects. And when animals see it, they don't understand what plastic is. And when they try to, investigate it, or if it's in their habitat, it can affect them negatively. And a lot of animals end up dying because of either suffocation or they will eat it thinking it's food. And because it's toxic, it ends up killing them over time. And as well, plastic for our environment doesn't just decompose quickly. It's not just like we have it and then poof, it's gone. It takes long times for certain kinds of plastic. according to WWF, written and published on an unknown date, states, quote, plastic straws can take up to 200 years to decompose. Choose a paper straw to ditch them altogether and try the age-old sieving technique. This right here is a very long time for something to decompose that we may have used for only an hour or so. And the problem is, while it decomposes, it really just turns into smaller pieces and becomes microplastic, which is very harmful. So, yeah, something we use for maybe an hour takes 200 years to decompose into little pieces that are even more harmful because of how small they are and how much an animal can get them inside of them. How much microplastic can collect over a certain amount of time. And this can be really detrimental on a lot of environments. Microplastic is one of the biggest problems in the ocean right now. Because of when plastic decomposes, it breaks up into smaller and smaller pieces, never really decomposing fully. So now you know why it is such a big problem within our environment. And I'm going to explain to you what as a country we should do. So, according to Forbes, written by Trevor Nace, and published on September 20th, 2018, states, quote, here we've collected the 349 known cities, counties, and states to have in some way banned or taxed plastic bag use. Currently only Hawaii and California have statewide plastic bag bans. So, in more recent news, cities and some states have banned the use of plastic bags, which is a good step forward for the U.S. But the problem is with it, even with some finding initiatives and taking it, is that it's only such a small portion, and we needed to increase and have more people doing it. And the most common objection to the single-use plastics is that we have relied on it, and how could we change it? But the thing is, there's so many different ways to find a way to not use single-use plastics that there's so many companies with reusable things, and something that would save a lot of use of plastic and lower your amount that you're using. So what we need to do is we need to tell the U.S. governments to stop these things. And by voicing your opinion, setting your matters right, we can make a difference in how the plastics will be used in the future. So first I told you about what are the problems with microplastics as affecting environments and both human and animal life. And then I told you what the solution is. So I believe that if you feel this is an issue to you, that you go out there and try to make a change and help the U.S. become a much greener country. Thank you.